You've heard the tales of love and adventure in Thailand, haven't you? But what happens when the dream turns into a nightmare? Today, we dive into a shocking story shared by one of our subscribers. He fell head over heels for a Thai woman, only to discover a shocking truth. She was already married to a European man. Join us as we unravel this tangled web of deception and heartbreak. I am 29 years old, never married, and besides 5 holiday visits before, lived mostly in Thailand and nearby countries for the past 10 of this year. Last May, just a few days before my return ticket date, I met a girl in Chiang Mai. And finally, even having limited funds since I was jobless for a couple of months, changed my return tickets and lived in her nice private house just across the superhighway more than in my room downtown. She seemed to be better than the girls I usually met in Thailand, pretending to have a university education, a job in the UK, formerly being an owner of a bar in downtown. She often paid the bills, sometimes even more than me, when we went out and so on. I was quite happy initially. About a week after we met, she became angry to me in the bar and then talked a lot with other Farang men. After a second or third Thai whiskey, even allowing one Farang to touch her a bit, after which I even thought to leave her and go away, but instead limited myself to several harsh words. A couple of days later, I went out with her friend, a girl who formerly worked in her bar, which was the reason for her to be jealous all the time until the end. Even though there was nothing serious and we were in the bar where people know all of us. Also, I started to find alarming things about her. First, I noticed that she calls or sends SMS to someone in England at the same time in the evening. As she explained, it was her boss. I saw a paper for her UBC signed definitely by some European man. And also found some paper, after reading which, even with my limited Thai skills, I understood she has a European surname. She explained she got it from a boyfriend whom she almost married last year, and many other small but disturbing things. As a result of my growing suspicions and her constant denials, even when something was looking not clear to me, there were more and more tensions between us. But we still tried to calm down and to stay together, even if we had a conflict. Also, in June, she went to Bangkok to apply for a UK visa. I went to Koh Samui with friends shortly before and met her after in Bangkok. Later, I found a paper in her home which stated that she applied for a wife's visa, and I was quite furious. However, she explained she had just paid 50,000 baht for a fictive marriage visa because she wanted to stay for longer periods in England. Meanwhile, while waiting for that visa, she told me several times she would like to go work as a cook at her friend's bar. Interesting choice with university education, isn't it? But she did not. Instead, she was just drinking out every other evening or so, receiving money from England, telling me that she borrows that money from her boss. When she thought she had spent too much, she started to press me more and more to pay our bills, stating that as my girlfriend, she didn't have to do this. Okay, I don't mind, as long as I control how much I spend. And soon, I ended up paying all of them. However, this change was a bit alarming. With all those things coming and going, I was less and less sure about whether she was good, but still stayed with her, as I had no better choice at that time, and anyway, was going home soon. Also, she held me in constant tension by being very jealous about every girl she even saw near me. That, combined with frequent drinking parties, led to more and more conflicts between us. Finally, before my third departure date, I decided not to change the ticket again and forced myself to go home. Shortly after, on the second day, some kind of hell happened to her. she started to talk bad to me often, to provoke me even more. Several times she didn't reply when I called her at night when she was out and drinking. Well, on the second week, she suddenly became good, but then again, even worse. Finally, she told me that she got her visa, and she would travel to Laos, Vientiane first, and Vietnam, as she had never been there. Alas, when I tried to call her, she either dropped my call or was offline for 4 days. I know well how DTEC SIM card works in Vientiane near the river. Finally, she sent an SMS that she's on Samui, and I can call her on Friday. This was last Wednesday. I tried to call her, but without any reply, and as such, sent her an SMS asking why she can talk only on Friday. On the next day, I got a completely unrelated message stating that she slept with someone and I have to forget her. But on the next day, she tried to talk with me as if she had never said anything. First by SMS, then by email. When I did not reply, shortly after she started to write bad messages again, like she has someone and so on. Quite bored, I've suddenly noticed her name and surname in the email from header. I knew both already, of course, but this led me to an idea. Why not combine the name of her boss she contacted with almost every day with her surname? Quick request to Google, and I've discovered many interesting facts. That this Englishman really lived in Chiang Mai, and even owned the bar she pretended to own until last year, after she said she sold it, and most likely purchased her a house also. Moreover, I've also found contacts of this man online. Looks like I was right in my suspicions, and she actually cheats not just me, but also her husband. With all these things and all that she said to me, I do not have intentions to stay with her. I know this all quite well as I started to explore Thai women from the very bottom. But what about the man she cheats much more than me? Well, with me, she just played a jealous girlfriend who drinks a lot, making a lot of trouble to my brain and to my liver, and spending some money. But to be honest, this was not much, as we were not splurging at all. And initially she spent money also, and initially, first month and sometimes after, there was a lot of fun also. But I know about a person who is cheated by her far more than me, and her friends in the bars, who I'm sure know she's married. Never told that, of course, like real Thais. Well, I can contact this man and explain it all so he can decide. But I can ruin her life that way. I don't want that for her much, but I also feel myself dishonest if I let her make such big lies and possibly ruin this man's life, who now probably sends her money while she has fun on Samui. And also, there's another thing, if she somehow would know who told him the truth, say, if she would sweet talk him so much so he would believe her. Thai girls love this kind of tricks. There could be even problems to me from her friends in my favorite town of Thailand, which I do not want also. As I reflect on this experience, I've realized that while love can be a beautiful thing, it can also be a source of pain and disappointment. It's important to trust your instincts, to be mindful of red flags, and to always be honest with yourself. I hope my story can serve as a cautionary tale for others who may be considering a cross-cultural relationship. And while I may have been hurt, I've also learned a great deal about myself and the world around me. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more tech content. And don't forget to leave your thoughts and questions in the comments below. We'll see you next time.